Gentlemen, please hold up on your practice. Lane 7, you'll get 2 extra minutes starting now. 7 and 8, 2 extra minutes. Everybody else, please hold up on your practice.
One, two, three, time! 1, 2, 3, deal! Hold on! 1, 2, 3, get hard!
Quick reminder, guys, make sure you keep towels and anything off of the tablet area, because that's where the microphone and speakers are if you have to contact us for a lane issue. Please do not put towels over the 2 tablets near the scoring area. And please also wait until your screens come up for scoring. You can begin tournament play once the arrows and the shows up. Lane 7 and 8, hold up your practice. Lane 7 and 8, hold up.
Get some on three, 1, 2, 3, get some!
Lane 7 and 8, please wait till the scores come up on your screens and you can begin turn of play. Those of you still waiting, we're trying to reboot a few things. Please have some patience. We'll get it fixed as soon as possible. Sorry about the problem. 3738 had to reboot it. It's a Windows thing, you know.
Good morning and welcome to Bowl TV for the second round of men's qualifying at the 2016 Hoosier Classic presented by Columbia 300 and H2M Management. My name is Aaron Smith, part of the USBC Communications team, and I'm coming to you live from a Western Bowl in Indianapolis, Indiana. We have 3 more games of qualifying to go here at the 2016 event before we know the top 8 teams are going to advance to the match play Baker bracket. So we'll give you a rundown of what happened yesterday on the lanes, as well as a look ahead to what's on tap today here on Bowl TV. Big thanks to everyone for joining us bright and early on a Sunday morning. We're going to kick things off with Aquinas and Southwestern Christian University over on 71 and 72. They're rebooting the system right now, so it'll be just a sec. Over on 73 and 74 already started. The Rochester Institute of Technology and St. Ambrose. So hopefully you got some coffee brewing. It's time to wake up and watch Bowl TV. So thanks again for joining us here. We'll get a recap of everything going on here at the Hoosier Classic in just a few moments, but settle in, get comfortable. It's time for Bowl TV.
Nick to the camera, please, Nick.
Nick Hoagland, please come to the counter.
All right, folks, looks like we're in business here after a few scoring system hiccups here early in the morning. 71 and 72 now is cooperating with us. So Aquinas and Southwestern Christian University are now underway. We have the manual score sheets out just in case it starts to act up again, but I think we're good to go here. RIT and St. Ambrose a little bit further ahead, already in the third frame. So this is game one of the final round of men's qualifying. However, this is game 7 out of 9 total for the weekend. The Hoosier Classic, a 9-game total pinfall event for qualifying. So a little different than what we're used to seeing at collegiate events where they have a little bit of Baker mix, and that actually comes in later. But 9 traditional games to determine the top 8 teams on both the men's and women's side. To make the top 8, definitely takes a nice set of bowling on 2 different challenging lane conditions. Tell you about the lane conditions in just a moment, but the place you're going to want to go for standings is Facebook and the Hoosier Classic page. If you haven't liked it already, just go ahead and type Hoosier Classic in the search on Facebook and it'll take you right there. That's where they're housing all the individual scores as well as team scores throughout the tournament. They update them after each game completes, so it's just a matter of them making sure everything's good to go. They'll post it on the page. Well, once again, the big number for these teams, they're chasing the top 8. We got a total of 78 teams here in the men's field, so definitely takes some work to get up there, but is worth the reward at the end to make it into the match play Baker bracket. With 3 games to go, Weber International is leading the way with a 63-42 team total for 6 games. Calumet sits in second, 20 pins behind at 63-22. 100 pins behind that is Lindenwood sitting in third, 62-22. Vincennes sits in fourth, 61-87. Wisconsin-Whitewater in fifth, 61-24. Urbana is sixth, 61-11. Those are the only teams averaging more than 200 so far here at the 2016 event. In seventh, Northwestern Ohio, 59-88. And Midland rounds out the top 10 with 59-85. First team out at the moment. Purdue University, 59-37. So they're just under 50 pins away. In 10th, William Patterson with 59-27. Wichita State are defending intercollegiate team championships winner in 11th. 59-21. Individually on the men's side, Weber's Andrew Anderson led the way, averaging more than 237 throughout his 6 games to pace the men's field with a 14-23 total. Calumet's Michael Davidson sits in second with a 14:07. He's joined in the top 5 by Vincennes Tyler Perry at 13:72, Wisconsin-Whitewater's Zach Wolfel at 13:40, and Urbana's Eric Bader 13:05. We mentioned different patterns being used this week. You can find that information in the description area below the video, as well as a lineup of who's coming to our Bowl TV feature pairs for our 3 games this morning. It's pretty unique. The players and the coaches didn't get to see lane graphs this week, even though they're competing on 3 different patterns. Different pattern for the 6-gamer yesterday, a different pattern for the 3 games today, and then for the teams who advanced to the match play bracket, a 3rd different pattern. So for the men today, the only information they were given was the length of the oil pattern and the volume. So today we are on 44 feet, the volume being 23.7 mils. Yesterday we were on 40 feet with 33.65 mils. And of course the excitement on the men's side, unprecedented here on Bowl TV. We have a 55-foot pattern with 23.85 mils for the Baker bracket. Our men's Baker bracket will be featured next here on Bowl TV. The women's field features 66 teams, so we're not using all 78 lanes like we are, or 78 out of 80 lanes, I should say, like we're using in the men's field. So they'll actually be able to do both at the same time. So unfortunately, we won't be able to catch the women's final 3 games of qualifying. However, we're going to wrap up the 2016 Hoosier Classic with their match play bracket. So last but certainly not least, we'll get to see our women's champion here on Bowl TV later this afternoon. The scheduled times for the men's Baker bracket is 12:30 Eastern. For the women's bracket, scheduled to begin 4 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to plan your Sunday accordingly. And we appreciate you joining us here on Bowl TV. Once again, the first game of the day, game 7 of 9 overall here at the 2016 Hoosier Classic.
Here, Let's look at it, everybody. Nah, you don't. So I stopped. I'm not going.
Mom, Dad, and Liam will be here closer to 9. Huh?
I bet you would.
They might be a little bit.
Tournament bowlers, as you're well aware, we do have some scoring issues on some pairs, so when you're moving from pair to pair, please be conscious of that. The pair you're going to may be behind because of the scoring. Thank you.
We're past the halfway point here in game number 1 of today's final qualifying block for the guys at the 2016 Hoosier Classic. We're live at Western Bowl in Indianapolis, Indiana. And heading down the home stretch to see who's going to get some bonus bowling here. In 2016, only the top 8 teams from the 78 team field will advance to the Baker bracket. It'll work like your typical bracket. The number 1 seed will take on the 8 seed, 2 will take on 7, 3 will take on 6, and 4 will take on 5. We've done traditional games so far for the entirety of this weekend. We're going to switch it over to Baker for that. The quarterfinal and semifinal matches will be best of 3, while the championship round will take a little bit more to claim the title. It's going to be at best of 7. Aquinas College joining us from Michigan. It's coached by Charlie Tapp. Something that had slipped my mind. I hadn't seen Charlie in a few years, so I ran into him this morning. Caught me off guard for a second, but always good to see him. Charlie transitioned to be a part of this bowling program in 2013 and has been working with the Saints ever since. Charlie, a familiar name from the PBA Tour back in the day, captured 3 national titles as well as a pair of senior tour titles. And now he's imparting that wisdom on to the next generation, building a future for the sport. So obviously this week it's all about the student athletes on the lanes, but a big thank you to all the coaches and the volunteers, assistant coaches, former alumni helping the program out, who dedicate their time to make college bowling as special as it is. The program certainly could not have grown as much as it has without the help of all those great folks, so be sure to thank them next opportunity you get. USBC Collegiate program surpassed the 200 mark for the first time in its history here in the 2015-2016 season. So the sky is the limit. Speaking of the 2015-2016 season, this is it for the regular season. Final event before we determine the teams that are going to advance to sectionals. So for some of these schools, this is it for their season. Get the chance to reflect and move on to next year, but for those teams who qualified high enough in the polls, they'll be heading to one of 4 sectionals throughout the country, the weekend of March 12th and 13th. Sectionals this year taking place in Stratford, New Jersey, Las Vegas, Nevada, Addison, Illinois, and Smyrna, Tennessee. It's all said and done, the top 16 men's and top 16 women's teams. So 4 from each sectional will make their way to Wichita, Kansas in April 2016 for the Intercollegiate Team Championships. They'll be held at North Rock Lanes for the second consecutive year. The Intercollegiate Singles Championships will also be taking place during that time. Dates for both April 19th through the 23rd. The week usually kicks off with the singles championships till we get down to our top 4 on both the men's and the women's side. After those bowlers are determined, the next day is really a celebration of the season. They had their Champion of Champions banquet. Everyone gets dressed up, gets together, and just looks back at what the season was. It's also a chance to announce the All-Americans for the season, find out who's earning those awards. And then it's on to the ITCs. Till we get down to our final 2 teams on both the men's and the women's side for the televised finals. Some big news here early in 2016. USBC and CBS Sports Network agreeing to a deal that will feature 23 shows being broadcast throughout the summer of 2016. Which will include shows for the Intercollegiate Team and Singles Championships. We'll have 5 shows from the Junior Gold Championships and USA Bowling Championships. Those will be taking place right here in Indianapolis. And of course, a big part of that deal, 13 of the 14 PWBA stops will have a time slot and be broadcast to see who takes home those coveted titles. So most of these shows are going to be taking place on Tuesday nights. So Tuesday nights are going to be your place for bowling. So check your local provider and see about getting a CBS Sports Network. No need to do that just yet, though. Still plenty of time before those shows start airing. Right now, all focus here on Bowl TV with the final qualifying block for the men here at the 2016 Hoosier Classic. The Hoosier Classic put on by a very dedicated tournament staff and former group of Indiana University bowlers from throughout the years, notably Bo Shipley and Nick Hoagland, among just a few of many who make this tournament something special for these kids. It is the final Tier 1 event, as well as it has grown exponentially throughout the years. We had a waiting list on both the men's and the women's side. So big thanks to the tournament staff as well as the staff here at Western Bowl for making this a great experience for everybody involved. And of course, some of the companies that help make this event possible year in and year out. The tournament is presented by Columbia 300. H2M management also a big part of this event, making it bigger and bigger each and every year. Kegel is the official lane maintenance provider for the event, along with the USBC championship events. And the folks at Logo Infusion, also made their way out here and set up a booth for the kids to look at some of the apparel they offer. So a lot of folks put in the time to make this tournament one to remember. So big thanks to them for their dedication to the sport of bowling. As we hit the foundation frame here in game number 1 of the day, just a reminder to check out the Hoosier Classic Facebook page. Easiest way to get there, just type Hoosier Classic, just like you see it in the bottom left-hand corner into the Facebook search, and it'll take you right there. Be sure to like the page. It's actually a great post that was posted about 2 hours ago talking about the scholarship fund for this year's event. More than $7,500. Just put into the scholarship fund for this year. The men's division is paying that out to the top 15 teams, and top 13 for the women. So definitely very cool, and they actually list all the people who helped out this week as part of the tournament staff. They list a special thanks to Bo and Janelle Shipley, Nick Harishny, Christ Drosos Jr. I got that incorrect, so my apologies. Doug Hall, Bob Nichols, Virginia Iozo, Steve Harmon, Dylan Murphy, Madison Bowman, and Dan Smith. Also big thanks to Mark and Jim here at Western Bowl as part of the Royal Pin Leisure Centers here in Indianapolis for their continued support of this event. Looking at the standings through 6, RIT and St. Ambrose were the closest out of the groups on our feature pairs to the top 8. RIT was about 170 back of 8th position. Not sure how much ground they're going to make up on the field here. Definitely a little tough to judge scoring pace in the early going. Since we are at the high end of the house, a little tough to see how scores are looking around the center. St. Ambrose was in 23rd. They were about 130 pins behind RIT. They had a few miscues in the 9th frame, 2 single pin misses. But they are ahead of them overall here in game number 1. So looking to make up a little bit of ground here with a big 10th frame. Coming up next on Bowl TV for game number 8 of 9, we'll have Siena Heights and Lindenwood-Belleville joining us on 71 and 72. Over on 73 and 74, we'll have UNLV and Lawrence Tech. Our final game of qualifying will feature Urbana, Hastings, Iowa Central, and Wisconsin-Whitewater. Aquinas College actually looking the strongest so far out of our 4 teams here on Bowl TV. Have an opportunity to start the day off in the plus. The nice 10th frame here. A few doubles here for Aquinas can get them just under 1,100. That 4-6 will slow them down a little bit. Still working on 2 strikes for their 4th and 5th bowlers. Back-to-back opens for the Saints in the 10th. Gonna drop their max quickly. Can now get to 1,033 for their first game total. Question about the pattern being used today. We're coming in at 44 feet in length, 23.7 for the volume. For yesterday's 6 games, we saw 40 feet with 33.65 mils. And for the men's match play Baker bracket, we'll be going with 55 feet. That's right, 5.5, with the volume being at 23.85 mils. For the Hoosier Classic, they elected not to release the graphs to the players and coaches, so the only information they were provided was the length and the volume for each of the 3 patterns. Final shot for Aquinas is a strike that gets him to 10-13. So plus 13 for the day so far, heading in the right direction. Southwestern Christian University can get to 942 with one more strike. RIT finishes up with 846. Rough game for them out of the gates. Strike for St. Ambrose on the fill, which they connect on, gets them to 961. So 961, St. Ambrose, 846, RIT, 939 the official tally for Southwestern Christian, and leading the way Aquinas, 1,013. So game 1 in the books here of our final 3 games of men's qualifying. 2 more to go before we know who our top 8 teams are on the men's side for the Baker bracket. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to the next game. Once again, Siena Heights, Lindenwood-Belleville, UNLV, and Lawrence Tech will be joining us. So don't go too far. We'll be right back on Bowl TV. Thanks again for tuning in and spending some of your Sunday morning with us. We'll be right back. Game 2 of the day, and 8 out of 9 for men's qualifying, taking place here live on Bowl TV at the 2016 Hoosier Classic, presented by Columbia 300 and H2M Management. Joining us for this game on 71 and 72, we have Lindenwood-Belleville and Siena Heights. Over on 73 and 74, UNLV and Lawrence Tech. UNLV and Lawrence Tech already in the third frame. Got a little bit of a head start as Lindenwood-Belleville was finishing up a pair to our left. Just a reminder to everyone, scores throughout the day could be found on the Hoosier Classic Facebook page. So be sure to like that for all the updates. As soon as we get an update after 7 total games, we'll let you know. We'll read those off. You can also keep tabs on Facebook yourself if you'd like. It's definitely a cool page to follow. Get all the scores and stats, but you also get all the behind-the-scenes stuff that really makes this tournament something special. It's the final Tier 1 event of the year. It's a sold-out field just about every year, and it's the final regular season event before the postseason kicks off for the USBC Collegiate season. Teams making their final push to be a part of the sectionals coming up in a few weeks. Those will be taking place in 4 locations throughout the country on the weekend of March 12th and 13th. Teams will be heading to Stratford, New Jersey, Las Vegas, Nevada, Addison, Illinois, and Smyrna, Tennessee. The ultimate goal to be one of the 16 teams on both the men's and women's side to advance to the Intercollegiate Team Championships. The ITC, along with the ISCs, will be taking place at North Rock Lanes, there we go, in Wichita, Kansas. Both events will be taking place from April 19th through April 23rd. Finals will be broadcast on CBS Sports Network. But before we get too excited about the postseason, we still got to finish the Hoosier Classic. So we are 1 game closer to finding out who our top 8 teams are going to be to make it to the match play Baker bracket. That's when the real fun starts. We'll transition to the Baker format. A little bit quicker pace and always exciting. You'll see the teams are really getting into it, especially in close matches. The excitement is something to really enjoy and take in. So looking forward to that. The men's bracket will begin approximately 12:30 Eastern. The women's bracket a little bit later today, starting around 4 p.m. Eastern. Up on lane 73, former junior Team USA member Dallas Leong anchoring the Rebels of UNLV. Not the shot he was hoping for, but gets a nice break to make it 3 in a row. A nice start for Las Vegas, clean through 3. Have a question in the chat about seeing a few ladies bowling with the guys here, and generally with collegiate bowling on the USBC side, if a school is unable to field a full women's team or doesn't have it, the ladies are able to participate with the men. As we can see with UNLV, as well as with Southwestern Christian last game. It's been this way for a while, and one of the most notable instances of this was Missy Parkin, who competed at Cal State Fullerton. Bowled her first 2 years on the women's team, and then had the opportunity to then switch to the men's team because they weren't able to field a women's team after that, and Missy made the most of the situation, helping Cal State Fullerton advance to the 2003 ITCs, where she earned the tournament's Most Valuable Player award in a field that included the likes of Sean Rash and David O'Sullivan, just to name a few. So there is a little history on that.
crazy part is it's we used to, right there, so before we had to bring that up like a road box and everything, and it was a lower quality. Now we can do all at once, so that definitely makes it nice.
Make it 6 for 6 for UNLV's Dallas Leong here in game 8 of 9 of qualifying for the men at the 2016 Hoosier Classic. Dallas will be up on lane 73 next. He is the anchor for the Rebels. We're through 4 on 71 and 72, Siena Heights and Lindenwood-Belleville. And we'll have one more after this before we'll take a re-oil break. We'll have a full house going with the end of women's qualifying, their final 3 games, along with the men's match play Baker bracket. So the cameras will be on the bracket here for Bowl TV. And before you know it, we'll crown a champion here on the men's side. After that, we'll take another quick oil break, get the lanes ready for the women's bracket. Then we'll be back at it again until we crown a champion. So in just a few short hours, we're going to know our final Tier 1 champions of the year. Definitely some interesting storylines, and as soon as we get scores, we'll see how it's shaping up. Will defending champion Robert Morris, Illinois on the men's side make a run into the top 8 and give themselves a chance to defend their title? They were about 100 pins back coming into today's competition, sitting in 13th with 58.81. Midland was in the 8th spot at 59.85 coming into today's action. Definitely some major players in the collegiate realm outside of the top 8 coming into today. So we mentioned Robert Morris, Illinois, 13th. Wichita State in 11th. They're about 60 pins back of Midland at 59.21. With the bracket, all you want to do is make it to the dance. Especially when you get to a field this big, only taking 8 teams. Really not going to be too much disparity, especially when it comes to the fact that it's going to be a brand new pattern that none of these players have seen yet. So just got to get to the dance and then hopefully a match up from there. It goes quick too. Baker matches are best of 3 up until the championship round. Then it expands to best of 7. Weber International led on the men's side with a 63-42, 20 pins ahead of Calumet. For Calumet, looking to secure their 5th Tier 1 win of the year. They've entered 4 so far, and they've won them all. Can they make it a 5 for 5 here at the Hoosier? We'll discuss those and more as we get closer, and of course, we'll have to wait and see who our top 8 are, because we'll turn the cameras off as soon as Game 9 is done. But be sure to check out the Hoosier Classic Facebook page to see scores, and as soon as we know the top 8, we will update the bracket here on site. We'll add that link to the YouTube page as well, so you can follow along and see if your favorite team is in the dance. Just about ready for the 10th frame on 73 and 74, Lawrence Tech and UNLV. Wrapping up, Dallas Leong is going to step up on 73 in a moment here. Started with 6 in a row. Converted the 2.8 last time up on 73 and a split in the 8th frame. Still get to 254 with 4 more strikes. A nice 7th frame for Lindenwood-Belleville, connecting on 4 out of 5 strikes. They'll be slightly ahead of Siena Heights in the overall total pinfall for game number 8. But once again, that really doesn't play a big part in the grand scheme of things here. It's against the whole field total pinfall, but if you're beating the team that you're bowling against, that means you're going in the right direction. So today's condition, a brand new pattern for all these competitors. Bowled 6 games on a 40-foot pattern on Saturday today, transitioned to a 44-foot pattern. So definitely a test of versatility for the teams outside of the top 8. Is the 44-foot pattern going to give them a better look and possibly a chance to make a run? For the teams inside the number, how do they maintain? We'll get an idea of how teams maintained. Standings are now up on the Facebook, or the official Facebook page of the Hoosier Classic. Calumet moves into the lead after 7 games with a 74-45. They're 48 pins ahead of Weber International, sitting in second with a 73-97. Those two starting to run away with those top 2 spots. Lindenwood is in third with 72-56. Wisconsin-Whitewater in fourth, 72-16. Vincennes sits in fifth, 70-74. Urbana in sixth. We'll see them next game, 70-12. So once again, only 6 teams plus. Midland is in 7th. They move up a spot, 69-66, and we have a tie for 8th. Northwestern Ohio and Purdue knotted up at 69-45. Robert Morris moves into 10th, our defending champion here. Just 30 pins off the cut now at 69-15. Wichita State in 11th, 5 pins back of them, is 69-10. And from there, there's a bit of a drop-off. William Patterson in 12th with 68-45. We have individual standings as well. Calumet's Michael Davidson moves into first with a 16-17. He's 2 pins ahead of Andrew Anderson, our day 1 leader. Anderson representing Weber International. He's at 16-15 for 7 games. Wisconsin-Whitewater's Zach Wolfel sits in third, 15-63. Vincennes Tyler Perry is fourth, 15-42. And Lindenwood's Kyle Sherman rounds out the top 5 with 15-41. So once again, you can find these on the on the official Hoosier Classic Facebook page, because that's where I found him. So once again, be sure to give that page a like and follow. And if you're on social media, let folks know you're watching Bowl TV. Hashtag Bowl TV. Share the link to the live stream today, especially moving into our later rounds. Definitely going to be exciting here. So let folks know you're rooting on your favorite team. And if you'd like to follow the USBC on social media, be sure to check out the Sport of Bowling on Facebook, facebook.com/USBC. We're on Twitter as well, @USBC. And we'll have a recap when it's all said and done today on bowl.com, your one-stop shop for everything USBC. Halfway through the 10th on 73 and 74 with UNLV and Lawrence Tech. UNLV still has a chance at 1,000 this game. You need a few doubles, but if it's possible on paper, that's all you need. For Lawrence Tech, they can get to 891, it looks like, with 6 more strikes to finish up game number 8. And there's a start. Foundation frame kick it off for Siena Heights and Lindenwood-Belleville.
All right, posting scores now for game 7 games. First score is a tie for 8th and 9th at -55. And the cash out score is -230. -230 to cash. We got a tie for 8th and 9th at -55. Scores are being posted right now. Here on the counter and on Hoosier Classic Facebook. If you want to go online. Get on Facebook, go to Hoosier Classic, and you'll see the scores.
Lawrence Tech finishes up with 869 for game number 8 of qualifying here at the 2016 Hoosier Classic. UNLV can still max out at 988 with 3 strikes from Dallas Leon. Kicking off the 10th frame on 71 and 72, Siena Heights and Lindenwood-Belleville. For this Lindenwood squad, looking to work on the momentum they found last year, making their way to the Intercollegiate Team Championships. Some struggles this week, though, for Lindenwood-Belleville. Currently in 35th after 7 games, 64-22. So they are going to finish out of the top 8, but will draw on the experience from last year's tournament run. See if they can do it again in 2016. .977 for UNLV to finish things up on 73 and 74. We'll have Iowa Central and Wisconsin-Whitewater heading there next. Don't see either of them over here just yet, so they may be making the move from the low end to the high end here at Western Bowl. We're behind lanes 71 through 74 of this 80-lane facility, so a few teams might be making the trek, getting some extra exercise that way. So it's getting pretty quiet here on the high end, so I gotta figure most teams already wrapping up. Urbana and Hastings will be making their way to 71 and 72 next. We actually got the chance to see Urbana yesterday for a game. They're currently in the top 8 through 7 games, so we'll see how they finish up to look to solidify their spot in the bracket. One of Urbana's former standouts, Graham Fa making the show at the PBA Players Championships. That's going to be going on today as well, so if you're a bowling fan, plenty of opportunities to sit back and enjoy some action on the lanes. So hopefully you'll have your laptop open and TV on and getting a double dose of bowling today. After we finish up at Game 9, we'll take a break to re-oil. We're going to do the whole house. We'll have to oil for the women's final 3 games, as well as the men's Baker bracket. And then hopefully cameras will be turning on right around 12:30 Eastern, right here on Bowl TV. Siena Heights having some fun here on Bowl TV. I don't know if we caught that on the cameras or not, but definitely an enthusiastic bunch, a good support group behind us as well, cheering them on. Definitely one of the cool things about this event, just packed with parents rooting on their kids. Once again, the final regular season event of the 2015-2016 season. For some of the seniors out there, this could be their last experience in their collegiate program if they do not make it to postseason play. Definitely bittersweet for some of them, but great time to reflect as well on a very cool collegiate experience. So Lindenwood-Belleville can get to 940 still. Siena Heights at 947, their max score, with 4 more strikes. So pretty even here on 71 and 72. One more shot for Lindenwood-Belleville, can get to 920 with the strike. Nice shot from Siena Heights to kick off the final frame. 946, their max score. Lindenwood-Belleville finishes up with 916. So the stage belongs to Siena Heights to finish up Game 8 We'll have one more to go after this. All right, final shot, game number 8. Siena Heights finishes with 9:44. So that's going to do it here in Game 8. Game 9 coming up next here on Bowl TV. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us here on Sunday morning. One more to go before we know our top 8 for the match play Baker bracket on the men's side. So don't go too far. Game 9 coming up next. Thanks again for tuning in.
That's probably exactly what happened. Not very good. Sounds great. Let's do it. Nope, don't even need to know. Let's do it.
We must remind you once again that only roster bowlers, which is 8 on each team and 2 coaches allowed in the bowling area. If you're not on the roster, please do not stand in the bowling area. We would appreciate your cooperation in this matter. Thank you very much.
The 9th and final game of men's qualifying now underway on both pairs here at the 2016 Hoosier Classic at Western Bowl in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm Aaron Smith with USBC Communications. Thanks for joining us here on Bowl TV. On 71 and 72, we have Urbana and Hastings joining us. At 73 and 74, already in the 4th frame, Wisconsin-Whitewater and Iowa Central. We appreciate everyone tuning in, including Wisconsin-Whitewater. Just posted something on their Twitter feed. They're tuning into Bowl TV while their ladies team competes at a different event. I saw it earlier on Facebook as well. The Warhawk Classic. So the ladies competing on the NCAA side this weekend. The guys here at the final regular season event of the USBC Collegiate season. So we appreciate you tuning in, and we appreciate everybody tuning in throughout the course of the week. Whether it's been for a few frames, a few games, just to see your favorite teams come to the live stream pair, or if you've been here for even more than that, more power to you for having to listen to me for that long. But we certainly appreciate it. As we look forward to crown champions here at the 47th annual Hoosier Classic. That 10-pin thought about bouncing out for Nick Crummell for a second there. That would have been something to kick off the morning 7-10 conversion. Doesn't quite make it all the way out, though. Be sure to visit the Hoosier Classic Facebook page for results throughout today's competition. That's where I'm finding them at. So we'll have a recap on bowl.com later this evening when everything is said and done. But for scores as they come through, the Hoosier Classic Facebook page is the place to be. Of course, there and here on Bowl TV. This is the final game for teams to jockey for position to make it into the final 8 to advance to the match play Baker bracket. Through 7 games, it took a score of 69-45. We actually had 2 teams tied at that, Northwestern Ohio and Purdue, to be within the top 8. Purdue actually one pair to our left over on 69 and 70, and not sure how they did in game 8, but looking to make no doubt about it in game 9. Started off with the front 10 as a team for a spare to kick off the 3rd frame. Wisconsin-Whitewater and Urbana were in the cut. Through 7 games, Wisconsin-Whitewater was sitting in 4th with a 72-16. Urbana in 6th at a 70-12. So a little bit bigger cushion for Wisconsin-Whitewater. There's actually a pretty significant drop-off from 4th to 5th place after 7 games, so unless they had complete disaster in game 8, those first 4 spots looking pretty good. But anything could happen in these last few games here for those final 4 spots. Defending champion Robert Morris, Illinois, and Wichita State looming outside the top 8. Seen those teams throw a ton of strikes throughout the years, so certainly wouldn't be surprised to see them have a big finish here on the 44-foot pattern used for the 2nd round of qualifying. Welcome in the chat to the 2010 and 2011 USBC Collegiate Most Valuable Player, TJ Schmidt, joining us here on Bowl TV. rooting on his alumni at Purdue. Boilermakers lights out so far, just 2 spares, everything else strikes through 3 frames. They're paired up with Calumet, our leaders through 7 games. For Calumet, 3 early opens. And also have a few doubles working as they transition to the 4th frame. Nice fourth frame for both Urbana and Hastings over on 71 and 72. For Hastings, gained a little bit of notoriety during the 2015 Intercollegiate Singles Championships this past year. Or I guess that was last year now since it's 2016, but Emily Eckhoff ended up capturing the ISC title, rolling a very impressive pair of 237 games on her way to defeating Nebraska's Julia Bond in the championship match. So today on Bowl TV, we'll see what the guys can do here on the lanes. For Urbana, it's time to get serious. We saw them yesterday. They were rocking the Team Fa sign to recognize Graham Fa making his first televised PBA show. The left-hander part of the 2014 Blue Knight team that made a run at the ITC title, ended up finishing a second to Lindenwood. Fa put on a very memorable performance. There we go. That effort included throwing a clutch double in Game 7 to put Urbana on the TV show against Wichita State. Nice seventh frame for Iowa Central, putting together 5 strikes. Looking to continue that momentum in the 8th. Stepping up on 74 in a moment. Out of 5 for Urbana in the 5th as we hit the home stretch of the final game of men's qualifying of the 2016 Hoosier Classic presented by Columbia 300. A big thanks to Western Bowl and their staff for providing an awesome tournament environment for players and spectators alike. And of course the tournament staff here with the Hoosier Classic. Very dedicated group, a lot of volunteers pitching in this week to make the final regular season event of the USBC Collegiate season one to remember. All right, we have scores updated through 8 games. Calumet continues to lead the way with 1 to go at 83-61. They are 38 pins ahead of Weber International at 83-23. Lindenwood in third still, 82-97. Wisconsin-Whitewater not too far behind in fourth, 82-82. Vincennes holding on to fifth at 80-55.
Top score +7. Eighth place +7. Cash score -236. -236 in cash. Cut right now is at +7 after 8 games. Standings are posted here on the counter on either side of the screens. Individual to the south, teams are up here on the north side, and also on Facebook at Hoosier Classic, the Hoosier Classic Facebook page.
All right, the PA announcements are through now, so we'll go ahead and continue on. They were announcing the numbers here as well. As I mentioned, Vincennes in fifth at 80-55. Purdue making the big jump from a tie to eighth into sixth place at 80-24. Midland moves into seventh, 80-15, and Northwestern Ohio remains in the top 8 with 8,007. So 8 teams plus Urbana falls out of the top 8 with, they're the first team out at 79-43. So they got to make up 64 pins. So far, looking pretty good for the Blue Knights. Seeing the energy here in the 6th frame. Still clean so far. And put together 8 consecutive strikes as a team. From there, Urbana's really the only team that's reasonably close. McKendree is in 10th, but they're more than 100 pins behind Urbana, or just about 100 pins, I should say, at 78-46. Morehead State in 11th, 78-43. Wichita State, 78-33. And then our defending champion, Robert Morris, Illinois, in 13th at 77-79. So we'll see if these 8 teams can hold on to those final spots. As we mentioned, Purdue off to a fantastic start. Ran into some trouble here in the middle of the game. Looking at a few opens here in the 6th. Individually, Andrew Anderson of Weber jumps back into the top spot with a big 245 game. He's at 1860 for 8 games. Jumping ahead of Calumet's Michael Davidson, who's at 1820. Vincennes Tyler Perry, 1764. He's at 3rd. Lindenwood's Kyle Sherman in 4th at 1756. And Wisconsin-Whitewater's Zach Wolfel rounds out the top 5, 1728. Once again, you can find all those scores and more on the official Hoosier Classic Facebook page. So that's where I found them. So
Come on, boys, let's go. Come on, we can start this. Let's go. Come on, Dalton.
Come on, Dalton, pick him up. Let's go.
Home stretch of the 9th and final game here of qualifying at the 2016 Hoosier Classic. Wisconsin-Whitewater and Iowa Central Community College already in the 10th frame. Wisconsin-Whitewater in great shape to punch their ticket to the next round. Only the top 8 teams of the 78 competing here on the men's side will advance to the match play Baker bracket. Wisconsin-Whitewater was in 4th entering this final game. On 71 and 72, Urbana looking to make the move into the top 8. They fell all the way to 9th after a rough game 8. But putting up a ton of strikes here. They had about a 60-pin difference. Between them and Northwestern Ohio for the final spot. Midland and Purdue also pretty close to the number. Purdue putting up a nice game, one pair to our left. So the only question is, how are Northwestern Ohio and Midland doing, and are they keeping pace with what Urbana is trying to do here?
Quick reminder to you guys, as some of you are finishing up, please get your scores into us as quick as possible so we can get everything entered, so we can determine the top 15 to pay out, plus also the top 8 to continue on into the bracket. So we would really appreciate if you get your scores into us as soon as you finish. Also, guys, please remember, don't leave anything. We don't want to have to take it home. We're going to have to send it back to you, okay? We really appreciate that. Make sure you pick up that yourself and make sure you have all your stuff with you. Thank you.
Well-deserved round of applause for Urbana's second bowler. I'm afraid I don't know that young man's name, but start off with the front 8 leading the way here for the Blue Knights. In the 9th and final game, if anyone in the chat wants to let us know, we'll certainly make mention of it. Whitewater can get to 1,031 here if Nick Krummel's able to put up 3 strikes here in the 10th. Gets the first one. Thank you for the help in the chat. Eric Bader of Urbana starting off with the front 8. Eric's been around the top of the individual standings throughout the event. After 8 games, he was sitting in 18th place overall with 1664. Had a rough game to start today, 166, bounce back with 193, and now a chance to shoot at 279. So Eric looking for some momentum here. And Urbana looking for some bonus bowling. Iowa Central finishes up with 880. Wisconsin-Whitewater waving the penguin here for the final shot. As Krummel finishes up with 215 to get them to 1020. Wisconsin-Whitewater, it's going to make it into the top 8. Urbana still needs to finish strong and hope for some help from the teams ahead of them. Nice 9th frame for Hastings, putting up 4 strikes. So I believe a max score for Urbana here, 1184. If my quick math is remotely close. That'd be a huge number here in the final game. Kick things off the right way, delivers strike. Strong support group here for Urbana, sitting just behind the live stream booth. 2:25 to kick things off for Urbana here in the 10th. We'll see if Eric Bader can throw 3 more to get to 279.
Oh, go cross.
Not the way he intended to do it, but take him when you can get him. Eric Bader crosses over. Still get to 279.
That's all right, go on. That's all right.
4.9 second shot of the 10th. That'll put his max at 269. If he gets enough of them, 267. Regardless, a nice bounce back from a rough start. 166 to kick things off today. Making the Century Club happen. Finishes in the middle, 268 for Urbana's Eric Bader, leading the Blue Knights here in the finale. 11.62 still available for Urbana. All 3 in the 10th to get to 210. 11.62 still available. Nice shot from Hastings to make it a double. Their fourth bowler could still get to 224.
Teams, you can bring your recap scores up here to the counter in case you don't run into anybody. We'll take them to term of control very quickly.
Purdue still has an opportunity to get to 1,100 on the nose, it looks like, from here. So they're going to be in pretty good shape. We're in sixth, heading into the final game. But pretty close between sixth and eighth place overall, so averaging around 220, pretty big number. So big question, what did Northwestern Ohio and Midland shoot this game? Urbana certainly wanting to leave, no doubt about it, to get around one of those teams. They were down 64 to be exact, heading into this final game, putting together a great effort down the stretch here. Able to get the 7-pin out on the first shot. Still get to 11:27 with a spare and strike here. And the miscue from Urbana leaves them at 11:15, so still a big game, average more than 220. Now they play the waiting game. Will it be enough to make the top 8? They're not going to be able to run down Purdue. Purdue is unable to convert their spare attempt here in the 10th. It'll be a 50-pin difference, so that wouldn't be enough to make it up, but Purdue covers the spare. They can get to 1079 this game. Final shot from Hastings gets them to 879. Calumet can get into the 1080s if Michael Davidson is able to throw 2 more strikes. But that's going to do it for men's qualifying here at the 2016 Hoosier Classic. We're going to be back on the air in just a little bit. Scheduled start time at 12:30 p.m. Eastern here on Bowl TV for the Match Play Baker Bracket. Top 8 teams will be returning. And of course, the big news, the 55-foot oil pattern that we'll be seeing. So we'll get to see how these teams attack it. But for now, we're turning the cameras off. We'll be back soon here on Bowl TV, so don't go too far. Once again, thanks for joining us here. I'm Aaron Smith, and we will see you soon here on Bowl TV. Thanks again.